And welcome back, listeners. Well, we are continuing our look now at Glamfest 2024 by having two very special guests about to come on the phone. Of course, the last time we spoke to Janet Gardner was when her Your Place in the Sun album was coming out on the show, and we've actually got Janet and Justin on the phone right now to talk about Glamfest 2024. Welcome to the program, both of you.
Oh, thank you for having us, Dave.
Yeah.
So
We're excited. We can't wait to get there.
So I have to ask, how excited are you about being able to come back to Australia and being part of such an amazing lineup like has been put together for Glamfest this year?
Oh my God, I am over the moon about this. Last time we were in Australia, right before the whole COVID thing hit, we had literally the time of our life. So to be asked to come back again is thrilling, but then to see the lineup of bands that are playing on this, I'm a freaking fan of all these bands that are playing with us, so it's going to be like a awesome event for me.
Well, me too. And a lot of, there's like old friends that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
So that it's just going to be so much fun. We cannot wait. We can't get on the plane. Let's go to the airport now.
Yeah, we are so excited about it.
And there's going to be so many excited fans there because for many fans in here in Australia, they've never been able to see Slaughter live. They've never been able to see Taiketo live. That must make you guys even more excited knowing that the crowd is going to be there full of absolute high energy.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. And the two bands that you just mentioned, Slaughter and Taiketo, oh my God, did they kill it on stage. They are so good, so everybody's in for a treat when they see them play.
So, Janet,
yeah, it's going to be one hell of a show.
So, Janet, I have to ask, what have you got in store for us? Because you've got such an amazing career. Of course, Justin's been a big part of your career as well, but tell us, what have you got planned for us, especially considering that you've got such a vast back catalogue to go through?
I know, it's really hard to figure out what to put in the set because, we want to do at least one song off of each of our albums. Most of them we're going to do a couple songs off of each of our albums. And then, of course, we got to put the Vixen classics in there because people would be mad if we, if we didn't break out a few of those. So it's going to be a mix of, new stuff, old stuff, and everything in between. Just lots of energy and lots of fun. My band are like the greatest guys on the planet. And they're so talented and so amazing. And, of course, Justin being by my side. It's just, I can't even tell you how much fun we have on stage. I'm in heaven. Can't wait.
Justin, do you and Janet sit down and have deep discussions about what you're going to play, or how do you work out that end set list?
We do. We always, try to make sure we're comfortable with the songs that we're selecting to play with one another. And, to like kind of what Janet said, we want to try to pick the songs that are energetic, that are fun, that people know, that are hooky and catchy, and just get you stomping your feet. And, yeah, we do. We usually sit down, the two of us, we come up with a mock set list, and then we'll send it to the other guys in the band, get their opinion, see how they feel about it. And,
yeah, and sometimes, we'll put a new song in and we'll play it for a while, and sometimes it translates great on stage live, and sometimes it just doesn't. It doesn't hit the mark. So, when that happens, we'll be like, okay, well, these songs are working. These songs are going over great, and they're translating to the audience beautifully. The audience gets it. And then once in a while, there's one that just doesn't work live for some reason. So we'll can it.
Well, it's kind of like I call it the Def Leppard syndrome, where, like, we record and produce all of our music, and, like Def Leppard does, we'll do songs that have 18 different guitar parts in it, which can't possibly be replicated live. So we'll go, well, I really love that song. We really got to try this one. So we'll play and we'll throw it in the show and go, it doesn't sound the same. It's not quite working without all those other parts in it. Now it's missing. So we'll throw a different song. But that's a nice thing. I mean, it's hard to believe we've put out 4 albums together ourselves. And then you got those amazing Vixen albums. from back in the day. So, I mean, it's a lot of songs to choose from. And I think we've kind of got this run of shows, we've got a pretty killer set that I think is going to come off really good. And I know we're going to have a fun on stage. And I think when a band has fun, it translates into the audience.
Definitely. Janet, you've had such an amazing career. Is it a walk down memory lane for you when you go back over those old Vixen classics? Because you write from the heart. You always have done. So is it a walk down memory lane when you go back over those tracks?
Absolutely. You know, people ask that, like, are you tired of playing Edge of a Broken Heart? You know, I've been doing it for how many years? 35 years, singing that song. And it's like, no, a great song never gets old. And, you know, when you see people singing along, it is. It's a walk down memory lane and always brings a smile to my face. And like Justin said, if you're having fun, chances are the audience is having fun too. So, yeah, it feels really, really good to play the new stuff and play the old stuff.
Well, it's funny, too. I mean, kind of to touch on that, too, we toured Europe once when we put out our first album, and due to circumstances, we couldn't play some of those songs, you know, from back in Janet's day. And it was weird. It felt like something was missing from the show. So, you know, I wasn't even involved in the Vixen stuff, but I missed it, so I can only imagine what she felt like. So it is great to throw those in there, and they're great songs.
Justin, what was that like for you, having to learn all the Vixen songs? Well, that would have been a pretty ambitious project for you to have started on as well.
It was. The cool thing for me is when I learned how to play those songs, you know, nowadays we have YouTube. So I throw up YouTubes. So the cool part was I got to stare at Janet the whole time while I learned the song. So that made it a little bit easier.
Janet, going right back, like you said, you've been doing these tracks now for 35 years. When you first recorded those tracks 35 years ago, did you ever think that 35 years later you would be playing these tracks to people on the other side of the world that have just fallen in love with your music over the years?
No, can't say that I did picture that. I mean, I suppose you always hope that, you know, you'll have some sort of longevity and be able to keep doing what you love.
Yeah.
But yeah, to be lucky enough to do it, I'm over the moon.
Now, I have to ask as well, you guys love Australia. I know that from talking to you previously. What are you looking forward to doing away from the stage during this tour here?
We just started talking about that. We don't have a lot of time. You know, it's pretty much we have one day in Melbourne, and then we play, and then the next night we play, and then the next night we play, and then we fly home. Unfortunately, last time we were there, we had quite a bit of time, and we did a lot of great stuff. So we got to make the most of our one day in Melbourne. So if you have any suggestions, throw them at us.
Well, what kind of things do you like? Melbourne is my hometown, so what kind of things do you enjoy doing?
I mean, for me personally, I love the wildlife there. I love the whole, you know, wallabies, kangaroos. I want to go.
Well, it's different from what we have here. So, it's a novel thing to, you know, be walking around and go, oh my God, there's a koala right there. We don't have those here.
So we
just like doing the nature stuff.
So my suggestion would be in Melbourne, jump on a tour bus and head out to Healesville Sanctuary. It's a little bit of a drive out of Melbourne, probably about an hour's drive, but it's in the middle of one of the most beautiful areas of Victoria, complete bushland, and every single animal at Healesville Sanctuary is Australian. So it's basically a wildlife park set up for Australian animals, and they're not one of those zoos that keep their animals in small cages or anything like that. In fact, they're one of the leaders of saving endangered animals here in Australia. So my suggestion would be Healesville Sanctuary.
Well, I love that because, you know, I want to be the one in the cage when you're visiting wildlife. I mean, that's the way it should be. So, yeah, we will check that out. Thank you for the tip.
We just grabbed a pen and paper and wrote that down. So that is definitely going to be looked up tonight.
So that's Healesville. It's Healsville Sanctuary. So It's right in the middle of the beautiful Yarra Ranges, so you get a bit of a look of what Victoria's natural habitat is like as well. So yeah, that's an amazing trip.
Oh, thank you for that. Appreciate that, because that's definitely what we want to do.
No worries at all. And they do an amazing show there as well that's hosted by Indigenous Australians, and they will actually talk you through what they call the Dreamtime stories about different animals like wedge-tailed eagles and koalas and everything. So yeah, it's an amazing trip.
Oh, awesome.
So
we'll check it out.
So now I got to ask.
We have a plan.
Now I know that you love nature. I have to ask, from a nature point of view, where has been the most amazing place that you've both been in the world to look at nature?
Australia. And I don't say that just because we're talking to you. For me, it was when we were there last time, we were in Brisbane and we went to Steve Irwin's zoo out there. And it was the first time for me seeing a lot of the wildlife and the animals from there.
And that wombat that was walking around, that Milo, I wanted to bring him
home. Oh, yeah. And then he was so cute. Kangaroo area, you could just go sit with the kangaroos.
Yep.
I could have just spent days there, and we had so much fun. It was such a great time.
It was great, but I do have to say, I grew up in Montana here in the States, and I grew up close to Yellowstone Park, and we used to go there on weekends, like in off season, when there was literally, we would pass one car all day. So we had just the majestic buffalo and bears and elk and, eagles and just the most amazing. I was fortunate to grow up with that.
Yeah.
So it's hard to top that. But Australia was very close.
I'm so jealous. Yellowstone is actually on my bucket list. I volunteer with a wildlife organization here, and yeah, my dream is to travel the world and to go and look at places like Yellowstone. So I'm very, very jealous.
Oh, that's so cool that you do that. That's
awesome. That's definitely what we love too. So, and that's part of the reason why we get excited to play other places, because it's like, man, we get a free ticket.
Yeah.
Free flight to go see amazing stuff.
Definitely.
So we're really lucky.
So I know we are running out of time very, very quickly, and you kind of touched on this before, so I've just got a couple of quick questions. But what are some of the other bands as part of Glamfest this year that you are excited to sit down and watch on the night?
Well, we've seen just about everybody at least once, twice, three, many times.
Yeah.
Like, Taiketo, we've seen them so many times, and Justin played with them.
Yep.
He played bass for them for, quite a few shows.
Yeah.
The cruise, Monsters of Rock cruises. So they're friends, and they're amazing every time we see them.
They're so good.
And we haven't seen the new lineup.
No, we have not. We saw the last show with the old lineup, so this will be our first time seeing the new lineup of the band.
Yeah, so that's exciting. And Slaughter, Vixen, we used to play with them all the time, and I haven't seen them lately either, so we're looking forward to them. Lynch Mob,
of course.
George Lynch, there's no better guitar player on the planet.
Yeah, guitar god.
Always great to see him. Well, except Justin. Justin, my favorite guitar player.
See, now you learn Janet's full of,
No.
But, then Heat. Heat and the Cruel Intentions, I'm super thrilled with, because in the States, we don't get to see awesome bands like that. So that'll be our first time seeing both of those bands.
Yeah, those will be great.
Yeah, so, it's just every band on this bill is just, when we were sent to what the finalized bill was, we were just like, oh my God, this is going to be
so
awesome.
good.
It is. I definitely can't wait. As a longtime fan of Slaughter, I can't believe I'm finally going to get to see them play live for the first time. So I'm so excited about that. And I'm so excited to see you both play as well, because I missed the last time you guys came just before the pandemic. So I'm very excited about that, as a lot of other people. So what would you like to say to our listeners out there who are coming along to check out Glamfest this year? Do you have a special message for them?
Well, definitely don't miss it. Start to finish, it's going to be a great time. So much great music, so many great bands, and great people. You know, I mean, I love all the people on this. So it's going to be great on stage, off stage. If you stick around and meet everybody, everybody's so gracious, and it's just going to be a love fest. So, yeah, come ready to have a lot of fun.
I mean, and that's the cool thing too. That's what this whole genre was about, was just having fun, you know, not being negative, not getting down on what's happening in the world. It's about escaping reality and having a great time. And that's what these nights are going to be. Just an awesome rock and roll party.